good morning everybody. I started to do this tutorial yesterday and I had to stop because I had to leave and go do a knit and sip. So I'm going to do this today. This is a Criss Cross pattern blanket. I've ripped this blanket out, this particular blanket, probably 4 times. And it's taken me a while to not only figure out how to do the pattern, the proper tension for the pattern. I'm just going to grab my coffee. Have some coffee with me and knit. But also, I learned that this is not a pattern, a blanket that you can comfortably knit in your recliner or on your bed or oh nay. It needs to be on a flat surface. So once I figured out how to do this pattern, I figured out also how to add the color, the second color, without having to cut and fuse. I'm not going to get into that right now. Don't get caught up in that. I just wanted to teach you the basics of how to do this stitch, and then we can focus more in on how to add a second color without having to cut and fuse. There's rules going right to left, there's rules going left to right, and hopefully I'll be able to explain them clearly to you so that you understand. So this is, I believe I did 30 cast on stitches. Hang on one second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18, 19, 20, and 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. It says 31. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. That's what I thought. Because you're going to be working in groups of 2 with this pattern. It is a drop stitch method, so I did start with 32. Originally I did 40 and I'm like, this is way too long. This is a yarn eater. It will shrink. If you do like 40, it will shrink an inch or 2 because it's going to absorb the yarn like a sponge as you go up. So anyway, I did 32 cast on stitches. I turned my cast on stitch upside down and did the dragon hoop method to pull them up. That's what I did. And then I started my pattern. So let me take one more little sip of coffee because I haven't been up that long and I need my coffee. So the rule going left to right is you're always going to knit, and here comes my quality control manager, you're always going to crisscross your first 2 stitches going left to right. So I don't want to mix up my yarn. So actually, here's my first 2 stitches. You're always going to crisscross these first 2 stitches. So, and to make that happen, you drop the first stitch down, you knit the second stitch, and then you take that first stitch and you crisscross it over that second stitch and knit it. I have this massive ball of yarn because, look at this, because I ripped it out so many times. I have this massive ball of yarn. It would be a great cat toy. Okay. we've crisscrossed our first group of 2. And then you go to the next group of 2, and you need to make your loops fairly large so that you have enough to crisscross. So now you have this group of 2. You're going to drop this first stitch, knit the second one, take the one that you dropped, cross it over, see where you got the little crisscross here, and knit that one. Next group of 2, drop it down, take that second stitch, knit it, take the one you dropped and cross it over and knit that. And you're going to do that all the way down the line. Take the next group of 2, drop the first stitch, knit that second one that's behind it, take that one you dropped down, cross it over, and knit. Take the next group of 2, drop that first one down, knit the second one, and cross that one over. And then next group of 2, drop that first stitch, knit, and cross it over. So I'm just going to go all the way down so that I can show you the next rule moving right to left, because that rule is different. Okay? Drop that stitch. You're always going to drop the first stitch and knit the second, no matter what direction you're going in. Okay? Drop the first stitch, knit the second, cross, drop. Drop the first stitch, knit the second. Now we're getting down to here. Last 2 stitches. Drop the first stitch, knit the second, knit the first, just like you've been doing. Now this row is complete. So then you're not going to crisscross these. You're going to take this end, this last one, and you're going to knit just this one. Okay, that's all you're going to do. And going back, it's the same process. You're going to drop the first stitch, knit the second. And when you're moving right to left, your crisscross should be going to the left. When you're moving right, did I say that right? Left to right. I'm sorry, left to right. Your crisscross is going to the right. When you're moving, I'm looking at this and I'm backwards, sorry. When you're moving right to left, your crisscross is going to be going in the left direction. So that will help also. So we've knitted this, and we're going to our next group of 2. Again, drop the first stitch. This will pull over, nice. Knit, cross over. Okay, drop the first stitch, knit the second, and cross over. And now your crisscross is going in the direction that you're going. So we're going to the left. So the top stitch is moving to the left. Drop the first stitch, knit the second, take that first stitch and cross it over and knit. Drop the first stitch, knit the second, and cross over. Okay, drop the first stitch, knit the second, cross over. And see all your little crisscrosses are going in that direction that you're moving. Drop the first stitch, crisscross, and I'm going to do that till I get to the end quick, and I'll show you what to do on that end. Okay, always working in groups of 2. If you find that your pattern is looking more like a herringbone or a zigzag, which I've done, you've missed a stitch somewhere. It will cause that to happen. That's not correct, so just turn it over and find out where you've missed a stitch and rip it out, take a breath, and start over. That's a telltale sign. If it does not look like this and it looks more like a zigzag or a kind of a herringbone, it's not correct. Cross the second stitch over, drop the first stitch, knit the second. Okay, so now we are at the last 3, and this is, you're going to have that because we knitted a stitch down here, and we didn't, that's all we did was knit it. Okay, so you're going to take these 2, drop the stitch, knit the second, knit the first, and then here you're going to knit. Okay, this is where I'm going to start my new color, but the principle is the same here. So again, the rule on this side is you're going to always crisscross these 2 on the left. You're always going to knit the extra stitch on the right. So again, for this one, you're going to drop and crisscross. And this will repeat. I'm not going to do that because I have to add my color. This will repeat every other row. This pattern will repeat every other row. So I hope you give this pattern a try. Helpful hints, like I said, are don't do this in your recliner or curled up in your bed. I've done that. I've knitted in my bed because it really needs to be on a flat surface. It's an even number of cast-on stitches. It is a yarn eater, so if you want your blanket, I think this ended up being 36 inches wide, which is plenty to sit in a chair and cover up with, which is what I wanted. A measuring tape is your best friend. So as you're doing your cast on stitch and you're shooting for like 36 inches, I would add an extra 2 inches at least, because it's going to shrink a little bit. And to get that nice braid from on the bottom of your cast on stitch to match the top, do the dragon hoop method. If you want a tutorial on how to do the dragon hoop method with your cast on stitch, I'll be happy to show you how to do that. But give this a try on this snowy day in the Northeast, where we're going to get like 20 inches of snow. So I've got my coffee. I just put a nice roast in my crock pot, and I'm just going to curl up and knit. So I hope you guys all have a great day. Bye.